Good morning and welcome to Sunup. I'm Dave Deacon, filling in for Lyndall Stout this week. And this week we're talking about the recent rains and what that means for the surface area. And we have Saleh Taghvaeian here to talk about those rains. The rain has been nice, but has it really helped the irrigation and the surface water?
Yeah, it has had a huge impact on our surface water resources. Two of the lakes in Oklahoma that are major supplier of irrigation water are Canton Lake and Lake Luger at Altus. Now, right now, Canton Lake is only 4 feet below the normal pool level. That's about 75% of the normal capacity, the storage of the lake. And this is a significant improvement. 4 or 5 months ago, Canton Lake was at about 30%, and we've gone all the way to 75%. Now, if you look at Lake Luger at Altus, we're at 100% of the pool capacity, which is really good. A few months ago, it was at 9%. One point to remember, however, is that it only takes a couple dry years for the lake levels to go back to where they were. If you look at data from previous years, you see that we went to this 9% in about 2 to 3 years. The levels really started going down in 2011, 2009 and 2010 were pretty much normal as far as the capacity in the lake.
That, in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty quick as far as a crop goes.
That's right. So what it tells me is, even though we've had all the rains and we're in really good shape, this is really the time to think about the next drought and prepare and conserve water, so when the next drought hits, we're all ready for that.
Now, in Oklahoma, not only do we have the surface water irrigation, but there's also a lot of groundwater used for irrigation also. For
the bedrock aquifers, the deeper aquifers, and there's 2 of them that supply irrigation water, 2 main one in Oklahoma, Rush Springs and Ogallala, we haven't seen much of an increase in the water level. There are 2 observation wells, again by U.S. Geological Survey, north and south of the city of Eakley. And if you look at them, the 2 graphs show the changes in the water table for the past 4 years. From July 2011 to July 2015, and you see that we've been on the declining trend. It's been declining continuously. If you look at the last couple months, you see an increase about 1 foot of water level in these observation wells, and that's a good sign. That's the impact of the rain, but we still have a long way to go to the levels where we were in 2011. Now, if you look at Ogallala, we have 1 observation well near the city of Texoma. The graphs for that observation well in Ogallala show no improvement at all. The water levels are declining, so the Ogallala Aquifer is still under stress, and it hasn't showed much response to recent rain events.
Now, there's a lot more that goes into an aquifer. In my mind, I picture it as this large cavernous space where there's just a body of water down there, and that would make it easier to refill, but that's not really how it works.
No, an aquifer is really a body of soil. It's a soil formation. So it's, when we talk about groundwater resources, it's the water that's in between the pores and voids, between the soil particles. So we have a saturated soil, if you will. There's no huge area that we could store water in it. And because a lot of time there are hard pans and layers with lower infiltration rates, we in a lot of cases we get a very small recharge after all these rain events. So only a small fraction of the precipitation makes it down to some of these deep aquifers.
Now, you actually have an event coming up here in August to talk about the irrigation across Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and talk about the event coming up on the 18th.
Yeah, we have organized the 2nd Oklahoma Irrigation Conference. This year we're inviting speakers from within the state, specialists and engineers and scientists from Oklahoma, but we've also invited irrigation specialists from Kansas and from Texas. And they're providing lots of information on precision irrigation management, irrigation scheduling tools, apps and softwares for doing that, talking about managing salinity under irrigation, and many other very interesting topics that will be discussed in this irrigation conference.
And that's coming up on August 18th, and you guys have a website for that, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and we have a link to it on our website, sunup.okstate.edu.